Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are back once again on YouTube. I hope everybody's been having a great month. As you may know, I haven't recorded a video in quite some time. I don't know when Pokemon will be back. I don't know when any games of the sort will be back, but it will eventually be coming back, recording video, playing some games. But I wanted to get into some basketball. I've been kind of worn out with playing games here recently. I've been playing a little bit of 2K here and there briefly, and some Switch here and there, but been doing a lot of drawing here recently. Been watching a lot of YouTube, but I was just really feeling like recording a video, especially watching Up Up Down Down, a wrestler named Xavier Woods. He has a channel called Up Up Down Down that he just plays games with a bunch of other wrestlers. That it's a pretty awesome channel. I'll leave a link down in the description about his channel. He does a hell of a job. But I've really been kind of in a slump here recently. Personally, I've been not been really feeling anything out there when it comes to basketball and video games. Those are my two main things that what I used to absolutely love and continue to love. And I'm not going to ever stop loving basketball and video games, but I've just been taking a break here recently. But with the NBA playoffs coming about starting on Tuesday, the Pacers are going to be playing either the Hornets or the Wizards in the play-in tournament. I thought I would get into but I'm going to get into the bottom five for each conference, the teams as a whole, where they stand, and what player come the draft could make the most sense. And we even have the mock draft right up here, which actually I can... Where in the hell is my mouse? Oh, there it is. Okay. So, a mouse cursor more of. We have the mock draft, and after I give a good summary of what position I would think that would be most suitable, and that see if they have the same position. By golly, I don't know. I could name off several of the players that are in this year's draft, but I couldn't tell you every single player for this NBA draft, mock draft, or the lottery or the draft that's coming up. By golly, this is one of the deepest draft classes in quite some time. Like, pretty much 1 through 15, you're going to be getting yourself a really good young core of a player that could help boost your team to the next step that they need. Like the Detroit Pistons, they're like one key player away from it because there's such a young core of a group. Their oldest player, their oldest player that is like a known player is Jeremy Grant, and he's 26 years old. So this is a young core of a group in the Detroit Pistons. They also have Mason Plumlee. So, like I said, we're going to do a synopsis, take a look at the record, take a look at them as a whole, as a team, and talk about the bottom 5 teams for each conference and go from there. So we're going to go ahead and get right into the Houston Rockets that are at 17-54. They're on a 1-game losing streak, 2-8 in their last 10. So 17-54. That is a rough. They didn't even get 20 wins this year. That's been that rough. So starting off, we got a lot of the players are quite young. You got Kelly Olynyk, who's been in the league for 7 years. You got DJ Augustine, Eric Gordon, Avery Bradley at 10 plus years, which is quite crazy that I remember these guys being drafted in the NBA. You got Dante Exum, that's been in the league for 5 years, that is he's been he was drafted, I think, the third pick in the draft when he went in the draft. He went third. And so again, when it comes to where's John Wall? Huh? Oh, there he is. John Wall. Actually, yeah, we have another one at 9 years. He is the key component to this whole draft of where this team will go. Health-wise, he went and had surgery here, I think, about a couple weeks ago. And his contract is huge. A huge contract that he has that is going to be key for us to, or not for us, but for the Rockets organization, of how much are you wanting to get a salary cap to bring in other players that are young. DJ Wilson is a great, nice little piece for them. Sterling Brown's the same ordeal. David Nwaba he's been on the Bulls. He's been on the Cavaliers. I think this is at least his third team, if not his fourth team. Kevin Porter Jr. is another key piece to me that doesn't have to worry about health issues, but he's had locker room issues when he was on the Cleveland Cavaliers. But it is the Cleveland Cavaliers that he had an outburst in the locker room and had some major issues in the locker room. But he went off for 50 points, 11 assists in a win in an upset against the Bucks. And this was his first year. They went ahead and the Cleveland Cavaliers traded him to Houston, and he's a guard forward. I like him at the 3 myself. John Wall at the 1, if he can be healthy. I love the Kenyon Martin Jr. I watched his father back in the 2000s. Kenyon Martin Sr. He was a phenomenal athletic power forward that played excellent defense. Jason Tate. He's really good too. I look to seeing him develop more. It's all about really Kevin Porter Jr., Daniel House Jr. If he can get some more momentum, I would love to see Kevin Porter Jr., Kenyon Martin Jr., and Jason Tate continue to develop, get more minutes for the future, because this is a rebuild team. They went from having James Harden, then they got Chris Paul, traded away Chris Paul for Westbrook, traded Westbrook for John Wall, and so this is a rebuild kind of time. I wouldn't be surprised during this upcoming offseason if they were to trade away John Wall for more picks, or they might keep him and then maybe during the trade deadline trade him away. I would not be surprised, and I'm guessing they're going to probably trade him during the offseason this year. Because, again, he just had surgery. He's already 9 years in the league, 30 years old, and you're going to have to start building key pieces that down the road you'll be able to get back into being a title contender. They're probably going to trade away Eric Gordon, maybe even let Avery Bradley buy him out. Possibly they might let him. They might trade him away, or like I said, might do a buyout. Kelly Olynyk, he's actually kind of went and had some phenomenal games. He's kind of had the he had the Julius Randle, Sabonis bonus kind of not role but play style here recently. He's actually averaged like 4 assists, 10 plus rebounds, and like 15 plus points. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were to let him or trade him away and let him go to a title contender, because he is 30 years old at 7th year in the league already. But you got your possibly your point guard, point forward, and Kenyon Martin Jr. You got Kevin Porter Jr. that is phenomenal, small forward. Jayshawn Tate at maybe they might have Kevin Porter Jr. at shooting guard, Kenyon Martin Jr. at possibly, he's already 6'6". He might be the 4, and then Jayshawn Tate at the 2. I don't know what exactly it is, but those are the key players to me when it comes to the Houston Rockets. And I wish I would show you. Yeah, they do. Okay. And that, I guess, next up is the Oklahoma City Thunder. And they're saying Cade Cunningham as the number 1 pick in the draft, which is kind of surprising because they already have Lou Dortz and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as your 1 and 2 punch. Also, if they were to move Lou Dortz, well, Lou Dortz is only 6'3". I did not realize that. Also, they removed Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to the 3. He's only 6'6". But overall, a lot of these players, to be honest, do not know much of these players. Isaiah Roby, I guess, has been playing pretty decent. They're gonna either trade away or get a buyout for Al Horford. He's been in the league for 13 years and is 34 years old. Everybody else, this is, I think, the second oldest at 26. No, Muscala is 29. Okay, and they also have Kenrick Williams. Okay. But yeah, this guy, I guess, is supposed to be really good. Svi, I know Crispy Flakes has mentioned him before. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were to possibly pick that Cade Cunningham, put him at point, Lou Dortz at the shooting guard, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the 3. And then you have a lot of options. You can go small ball. I guess this guy's pretty good. Alexi, and I couldn't tell you that last name. I don't have a clue. Center, 7 foot. That's a pretty big boy. Only 190 pounds. That's kind of surprising, considering this guy's only 6'7", is 205 pounds. Got these other smaller guys that are a lot heavier, that are a lot smaller too. Got Tony Bradley, that's a center forward that has been in the league for only 3 years. Huh. But yeah, they have Cade Cunningham. That's not a bad move. I do like that move because, again, you can have 3 young core players in Cade Cunningham, Lou Dortz, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Trade away Al Horford. Get yourself a power forward, small forward combo. And then this is going to be a young, nice core group that's going to take some time to develop. I'm guessing next up should be the Rockets? No, it's the Raptors. Okay. And they had that Evan Mobley. He's a center from USC. He's really green, as they say, that he has the talent and the potential, but we don't really know much other than that is going to take some minutes to get, Yep, right here. Pascal Siakam and Chris Bozier. Between Mobley and Siakam, yeah, he's really good, I guess. OG Anunoby is a key player for them. Stanley Johnson has not panned out for them. And again, a big shout out to Crispy Flakes. He watched Stanley Johnson go from the hype of the next, like, LeBron James or Kawhi Leonard, they compared to him to. It just has not worked out for him. Kyle Lowry, they were talking of trading him away to the 76ers, the Lakers. There's several teams that were interested in him, but they didn't trade him. But I wouldn't be surprised if... I think he has one more year after this year. This upcoming season. After this year. Fred VanVleet is a key player for them. A point guard, shooting guard combo. He's really good. He actually... when I saw that they had kept him, and he was coming off the bench, I was like kind of hesitant because he's a smaller player at 6'1", and his style didn't seem like a point guard, in which he does shoot the ball really well, but they have him as a guard. And so, plus towards the end of the season, he actually got like 10 plus assists too. So he's actually starting to come into his own. He's only in the league for 4 years now. It's kind of surprising. Gary Trent Jr., they're going to want to re-sign him. He's only been in the league for 2 years. This is only his second year. He's really good. I love Gary Trent Jr. Like, I would love the Pacers to go out and try to get him. He's really good. Pascal Siakam I love Pascal. I would love the Pacers to try to go get him. He had first 2 years, he was phenomenal. Then the year that they won the championship, kind of not teetered off, but he hit the plateau. This year he didn't do nearly as well, but I'm still a huge fan of him. 27 years old only, so DeAndre Bembry is really good. This is a young, good core group, but we'll see how they work out. And with them getting Evan Mobley, as I said, with Chris Bozier, he's already 6'9", and Siakam, they got some really big, tall guys that can handle the ball pretty well. That'd be a pretty huge pickup for them. Next up is the Sacramento Kings at 3. Go ahead and check out their core. But yeah, I like that fit for the Raptors. I wouldn't. That's interesting. Wait a second. The Raptors. When was this article? Okay, so this is 5 days ago. Never mind. I can't even look at this mock draft because it's outdated quite badly. It's not outdated quite badly, but it does have 2021 NBA mock draft. It's kind of outdated because that was 5 days ago, and I was wondering why the Raptors were picking second when they're not clearly second anymore. You got the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Magic. You got the Timberwolves or the Thunder, so it just didn't really make a whole lot of sense for them to have it like that. That was 11 days ago, or 5 days ago. I need a mock draft that is more updated and more recent. Okay. This is from NBADraft.net that come on, TV. Anyways, this is a lot more recent of an update. Do they really still have their pick? Really? Let me go and check this out real quick. Do they really have their pick still? Because if that's the case, then that'd be huge for them. Houston Rockets 2021. Come on, computer. 2021 draft pick. Really? They still have? I thought they traded away that pick for Westbrook. What is going on? I don't need your Pandora's nonsense. Go away. Milwaukee.
Because your passion never runs out.
What is going on?
In over 100 years, we've never missed a payment. Guaranteed monthly income for life when you retire.
What? Anyways, sorry about that. Own its 2021 first round pick. Huh. Okay, so they do own their own pick. Okay. In that case, then yeah, that's not a bad young player for them to get. The question is then, if that's the case that they own that pick, which are 17 wins only, will they be willing to trade away John Wall so they can go younger, and then have Cade Cunningham, and then in that case you can put in slide everybody down a slot, which should be interesting to say the least. Detroit. Okay, so they have it. This is a lot more recent. Detroit with Evan Mobley. I do like that a lot. That power forward center, and they have Isaiah Stewart and Mason Plumlee. And Mason Plumlee has 2 years left on his contract. Isaiah Stewart is he's a rookie at 28 years old. Huh? Okay. Whew. Sorry about that. I saw this and I was like, why is he 28 years old, but yet Mason Plumlee's 24? But that's their numbers. Mason Plumlee's been in the league for 7 years, is 31 years old. Isaiah Stewart is 19 years old. So you don't really have a true center position. And so then you can possibly trade away Plumlee to get some more depth of your team. Have Isaiah Stewart at the 4/5, and then sometimes have Evan Mobley at the 4/5, depending on certain matchups. That's not a bad move. I love that idea, because then you have Killian Hayes at the 1, Jeremy Grant at the 3. You know, that again, you can almost do it with any of those three of Jeremy Grant, Evan Mobley, and Isaiah Stewart. It'd be a great combo. And then you have Sadiq Bey. Sekou Demboya is excellent. I love Sekou. Saban Lee, I guess, has been going off too. Corey Joseph, from Indiana, we know that he is a great, phenomenal bench slash starting point guard that is kind of like TJ McConnell, where he plays great defense and is very underrated, undervalued guard in general. I love Corey Joseph. Wayne Ellington is a great three-point shooter. Diallo, I guess, has been kind of finicky here and there. Dennis Smith Jr., I guess, played phenomenal for the Detroit Pistons. But getting Evan Mobley, getting rid of that Mason Plumlee contract, they're going to be playing. The Detroit Pistons is going to be extremely young, but yet so much good potential. I would love for the.
My name is Aubrey Bonnevert. I'm a pediatrician with Franciscan.
There we go. Okay. I even have ad blocker on, so I don't know why that's a thing for. But I would love to see for Crispy Flakes for him to be able to get Evan Mobley. That'd be a hell of a pickup for them. Okay, so Oklahoma City Thunder, they're supposed to be getting a shooting guard and Jalen Green. And again, any young core player or any of these players, they'd be phenomenal to go along with, again, Lou Dort, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the rest of the young core players. So anyone would work. This would be rough. They already have Colin Sexton and Darius Garland, and I heard mixed things about Colin Sexton, that he has the ball in his hands way too much. A lot of the other opponents that they're going against make fun of it too. And again, if you're willing to move on from Colin Sexton, trade him away, get another couple draft picks, have Jalen Suggs as the point guard, Darius Garland at the 2, would make sense, but this would be not ideal for them. They might go out and try to get the Jonathan Kuminga, which would again make more sense for them because it's a small forward, power forward, and they're going to want to move on from Kevin Love this offseason. He's going to probably get traded away for some draft picks, some young players for them to continue to develop. And I love Jared Allen on Cleveland, so that'd be even better for them. And then again for Orlando, for them to get, based off of this mock draft and this going in this order, them getting Jonathan Kuminga, he'd be unbelievable. Because again, I love Orlando because them trading away Aaron Gordon and Vucevic and Fournier is rough. But they knew that they were not going to go out and win a championship with this kind of team. So they went really young, and they went and had Mo Bamba give his opportunity to come in and play more minutes. But he has not played well based off what I've seen. Wendell Carter Jr. has been kind of playing, or is not kind of, but he is a phenomenal player for them. He was a great player on the Bulls, but they knew that Vucevic was not going to lead them to a championship, so they went younger. Again, Wendell Carter Jr. is only 22 years old. Otto Porter Jr., that was a great pickup because he's a great shooter. Not the biggest fan of his contract because of it, but I love this dude. Love Sindarius Thornwell. He's a really good slashing guard that I think he is going to be a great player for this team. Same with Gary Harris. His contract is not the best, but he's going to be good down the road for them. He's already 6 years in the league. Jonathan, the key players for the Orlando Magic are Jonathan Isaac, Mo Bamba to continue to develop. If not, they're going to have to trade him away probably sooner than later. Gary Harris continue to be who he is. His contract's not terrible. Markelle Fultz is probably the key player for them to develop because he just got paid $20 million a year for the next 4 years. He needs to develop, not like super quick, but at a good pace. He needs to start being healthy, and his shot is a lot better. It's as a rough contract that they went out and got for him. I love Cole Anthony. Absolutely love Cole Anthony. He is unbelievable. His father's Greg Anthony. That's an analyst nowadays, but he used to be a former player. I love Cole Anthony. Has that clutch gene in him. So him and Markelle Fultz being the backcourt for the future is going to be huge. Jonathan Isaac, he can guard 1 through 5. Being 6'11", 30 years in the league, only at 23 years old, he is a franchise player. Great defender. Again, he can guard 1 through 5. He's just that athletic, that great of a player. I wish the Pacers could go out and get him, but we don't have any of our players are not worth to the Magic. None of our players are worth trading to get rid of Jonathan Isaac. I don't know why that's there for. Okay, there we go. Back to the mock draft. But yeah, them getting another a more being a small forward, power forward combo at 6'8", that's gonna be pretty nice for them. Keon Johnson is gonna be a good player for the Timberwolves. Again, just getting more players, young core players, is gonna be huge for the Timberwolves. At the same time, I'm just making sure that my internet's working because it's taking a sweet time to to upload this. I'm hoping my internet's working correctly. Okay, so them getting this player would be huge. Oops, I didn't really mean to close out. I didn't mean to close out that NBA mock draft. There it is. Because again, you already have Karl-Anthony Towns has already been in the league for 5 years. D'Angelo Russell's been in the league for 5 years, and Ed Taves has been around for 10 years. Jeez, he's born in '89. Didn't realize that. Jake Layman has been around for 4. Ricky Rubio has been around for 9 years. Malik Beasley at 4 years. But the key thing is D'Angelo Russell and Karl-Anthony Towns with Anthony Edwards, that they continue to develop these kids and that they stay healthy. And for them to be able to go out and get a Keon Johnson that is 6'5" shooting guard, small forward from Tennessee, again, just getting another young player, maybe trade away Malik Beasley with that pick, go out, get yourself an established forward would be huge for them. So then you can have D'Angelo Russell at the point, Anthony Edwards at the 2, Karl-Anthony Towns at the 5 or 4, depending on who you can go out and get. Jared Vanderbilt, I like him a lot. He's a good 3/4, depending on certain teams that he'd be a good small power forward style player. But yeah, them getting another young core player would be not bad either. But I would trade away the pick and go out and get a small forward, power forward that has been established, that has been around long enough so they can go out and just start contending and start making it to the playoffs. Because them getting a young player again is not going to move them to being a contender. So next up is the Toronto Raptors. Like I was thinking, that I thought they had moved down that far. The Orlando Magic have 2 top 10 first round picks. Jesus. Moses Moody, a shooting guard at 205 pounds at 6'6", a freshman. Okay. Shooting guard. So again, when it comes to the Toronto Raptors getting a shooting guard, they already have Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby / Kyle Lowry. If they're willing to this upcoming off season trade away Kyle Lowry's last year, then that's not a bad move. I like then having Fred VanVleet at the 2, putting that Moses Moody at the. Putting Fred VanVleet at the 1, the Moses Moody at the 2, OG at the 3, then you have Siakam at the 4, or actually you can have him at the 5, and then Gary Trent Jr. at the 4, depending on how small of a lineup you want to go. Hell, you can go Chris Bozier at the 5, and then Pascal Siakam at the 4. There's a lot of options when it comes to this team, but if I were them, go out and get the Pacers draft pick, the Kai Jones, because they don't really have a center out there that is huge. Like, he's a center, Kevin Birch, at 6'9". Aaron Baines is a center forward at 6'10". He's 6'11". He's an inch short of like a true center height at 7 foot, but that's still not a bad move at 6'11". Actually makes it a little bit more sense for them to go out and try to get him. By golly, if the Toronto Raptors want to do a trade, we might be able to go out and maybe get like a Davion Mitchell. I think isn't that his cousin, Donovan Mitchell's cousin, I think? Davion Mitchell. Is that his brother? Are they brothers? Oh my goodness gracious. Come on, people. Just so these two aren't brothers. To be fair, we had to Google it. Sure, because why not? They have similar initials and last name. Okay, so they're not brothers, but I wouldn't mind going out and getting a Davian Mitchell. We have a lot of options because the Pacers. I'll get that into that here after a bit. But the Toronto, back to the topic at hand, the Moses Moody, he is the, unless they trade away Kyle Lowry, they're looking at quite an interesting group if they do go out and get that Moses Moody. Moving on to the Orlando Magic once again. They have a 6'9", or Scotty Barnes, a 6'9" small forward, power forward at 225 pounds. Okay. Small forward, again, is just like the Jonathan Kuminga. Yeah. That kind of style, small forward, power forward combo. Again, that's like the premier or premium player kind of style you want in today's league, is the two-way kind of positional players. And by golly, I wouldn't argue with the Pacers trading up to go get that Scotty Barnes, or even trade all the way up to get that Jonathan Kuminga, because we need that kind of style. Because by golly, we got TJ Warren, but down the road we got so many players, which again I'll get into down once we get to our pick. But again, any players for Orlando to develop and grow is going to be huge. Zaire Williams, okay, shooting guard, small forward. Again, any players for the Sacramento Kings and go out and get as young is not a bad move, but wouldn't blame a lot of these good, like Toronto, Sacramento, Washington, or New Orleans, and Washington. I wouldn't be upset with any of these teams going out, trade that pick away, get yourself a young, or not young, but an established veteran that can take your team to the next level, because when it comes to like Washington, they're on borrowed time because you have Bradley Beal that's, I think his contract's done. Westbrook is getting older, and so do you want to go out and win a championship? I wouldn't be surprised if they were to trade away that pick. New Orleans, they want to go out and win a championship. They already have Zion Williamson. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were to keep their pick, because they have the Davian Mitchell as the pick, and he's a point guard, and there are talks of Lonzo Ball he's a restricted free agent, and there are talks that the New York Knicks might throw a lot of money to get him. And Davian Mitchell will be a good young player as a point guard for them for the future. Let Eric Bledsoe walk. I think his contract's almost done. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Sacramento Kings were to trade away that pick, because you already have your established point guard, shooting guard in De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield. The question is, do they try to go and give Marvin Bagley his money that he wants to get, because he's wanting like $18+ million a year, and it's gonna be a rough contract if they do give that to him. But them getting this kind of player, if you can go and trade Marvin Bagley, the 9th pick, to go out and get yourself like for an example, Miles Turner. Like that'd be a huge pickup for them to get Miles Turner, who is a great rim protector, plays excellent defense, but the Zaire Williams is not going to help them long term, because he's a small shooting guard, small forward at 6'8". They need a rim protector, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were to trade that away. Like what I said with Damian Mitchell, when it comes to the Corey Kispert, again, they already have a pretty good backcourt in Bradley Beal and Westbrook. I want to say they have, I can't remember who else they have. Chandler Hutchinson, Rui Hachimura, Denny Avdija, Isaiah Thomas Bryant. Ish Smith is pretty damn good, but he's already been in the league for 10 years. Isaac Bonga has been around for a minute. I love Rule Neto. He's a great... he's like Corey Joseph, TJ McConnell, where he plays great defense, can shoot the three ball, can handle the ball pretty gosh darn well. I love Rule Neto. So them going out and getting another good young guard would be not a bad move, just in case if Bradley Beal does want to move on and he does not resign with the Wizards. That'd be a good pickup for them for the future. And then Daniel Gafford is good. This is a good team. This contract is terrible. He's making as much as Domantas Sabonis and Miles Turner each. Like, he's making $17 million a year just to shoot the three-pointer. And it's a terrible contract. Moving on to my Indiana Pacers. We already have Miles Turner. We already have Domantas Sabonis. And we got Goga Bitadze, the guy that has went and got into it with our assistant coach, Greg Foster. That was a whole spiel in which shortly after this video, I am going to sit down and do a second video, and I'm going to go in depth with my Indiana Pacers. And it's a rough time when it comes to being an Indiana Pacer fan. But with that being said, us getting this center, I'm not blown away by it. By golly, right now, I'll just go out and get this Jalen Johnson over the Kai Jones, because again, he's a small forward. I've always liked the small forward position. Small forward, power forward have been like my favorite positions here recently, especially. And then back in the 90s, I used to be a big fan of the shooting guard position because you had Reggie Miller, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant. The shooting guard position was huge back in the 90s and early 2000s, but small forward, power forward nowadays is like the key positions to go out and get nowadays. But yeah, I would love to go out and try to get this Jalen Johnson, but I'm going to go to the 15th pick, and then we'll probably... actually, I've already way past the... I was talking about the top 10, but I'll just go ahead and do the mock draft, the lottery draft picks through 15, and then we'll end the video. I'll go ahead and start uploading this video, and then we'll get into the Indiana Pacers, because I grew up in the Indiana Pacers, and that's a whole nother story that we'll get into in the next video. But yeah, I'm not overly blown by us getting this Kai Johnson. That's not good for us. If we can go out and get Jalen Johnson, I'd rather much do so that once we can trade away that pick and get Jalen Johnson at the 14th pick, they can go out and get the Kai Jones. That'd be cool. San Antonio, I like this pick. I like this pick a lot because their point guards have not panned out. I am quite upset by it. Well, I don't think so, at least. I've got a little bit more time. Let me look at some statistics real quick. Because I don't want to go and make myself look... I want to make sure, because again, I don't know much about the San Antonio Spurs, because again, it's just like the Indiana Pacers. The players that I know other players, but I don't know how statistically they've been doing, and I don't want to upset the San Antonio Spurs fan base, Because, again, I want to say that Derek White has not panned out that well. Same with DeJounte Murray. I've always liked those two, though. I love those two as players. Okay. 15 points. His points went up, Derek White. His assists stayed the same at 3.5. 0.7 steals. 1.0 blocks. 1.3 steal or turnovers a game. That's not bad. Personal fouls went up a little bit at 2.5. How about 3-pointers? 3.46. So his 3-pointers went down a little bit. And his just field goal percentage in general is at 41. What about free throws? Free throws. There they are. 85.1. That's not bad. About 50%. No, he wasn't close to 50%. 40%. Nope, not close. And then he was pretty decently close to he was 85% from the free throw line. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Again, by golly, 3.5 assists only a game, but you have DeMar DeRozan that usually holds the ball a lot because he's the star of the team. I love Lonnie Walker. Absolutely love Lonnie Walker. He is. I like him as a player. I don't know how he did this year. Let me look up DeJounte Murray real quick. 15 points. That's not bad. Turnovers 1.8. It went down a little bit. 1.5 steals. It went down from last year, 2019-2020 season by 0.2. It's not too bad. Assists went up 5.4. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Free throws 79.1. So again, not even 80%. That's kind of rough as a point guard, or as a guard in general, anyways. Because usually like 80% is a good one for guards usually. 3-pointers 3.2. Ugh. Field goal percentage at 45. Oh man, I like those assists a game. 5.4 assists. That's pretty good, and 1.5 steals is not bad. How about Lonnie Walker? Let me look up Lonnie Walker real quick. Lonnie Walker, 11.4. So he went. His points went up. I forgot to even look up how many minutes a game that they played, how many games they started, too, is another key one. Or some key ones. He played 36 games started this year out of 58 games total. 11.4 points. That's pretty good. He played... He averaged 25.4 minutes a game. That's not bad. But Popovich tends to be kind of a little more strict on the minutes when it comes to players, because if they're playing terrible, he'll pull them immediately. 1.6 assists. That's not bad. 0.5 steals. 1 stealer, 1 turnover a game. 81% from the free throw line. That's not bad. 81% from the free throw line. 3-point percentage, 36.4. So he's down a little bit on... Okay. He went down to 36.4, but he only averaged 1.7 the year before. And he only averaged nearly 2 3-pointers a game. It was shooting 40% in 2019-2020. But this year he went and hit 1.7 3-pointers a game and attempted 4.7. So he's actually, again, he's played a lot more he played a lot more games and started a lot more games than the year before. He went last year at 12 games started and played 61 games. This year he did 36 games started and 58 of them out of 58 games that were able to be played. So again, I love him as a player. I really love Lonnie Walker as a player. Keldon Johnson is an animal for you guys. Big shout out to the Spurs fan base, because again, I know it's a struggle being a small market team fan. It's rough, but I know he went pretty off this year. 12.7 points, 1.7 assists, 0.6 steals, 0.4 blocks. Yeah, rebounds is 6.1 rebounds a game, 1.7 assist. Free throw percentage 73.5. Is he 6'5"? Okay. Yeah, you need to get that free throw percentage up. That's pretty rough there, kid. Down 6% from 2019-2020 season to 2020-2021 season. 79.5 to 73.5. That's rough. 3-point percentage again went down, but he only averaged 1.3 assists or 1.3 3-pointers a game to 2.6. And then field goal percentage 47.8. Ew, that's kind of rough. He attempted 10 field goals a game and made 4.9 of them. So that's not bad. 47.8% of the time he was making them. That's not bad. Games started 65. And out of 67 games available to be played, that's pretty damn good. Where's the minutes? Oh, he averaged 28.7. Okay. Again, that's not a bad, nice little piece to work with at 21 years old. Lonnie Walker, Keldon Johnson. And again, going out and getting... I like this kid. Keita Bates-Diop. He is phenomenal. Keita Bates-Diop. I love this kid. He has small forward, power forward at 6'8". Like his style. Like I watched him for a good minute. Wow. He didn't play a whole lot, which is upsetting because I would love to see him get more chances to play. Because again, he didn't start any games the past 5 years. That's depressing. Games he played was 28. I guess he just can't stay healthy, I guess. That's depressing. Oh, that poor guy. Okay, so San Antonio. Anytime you have Popovich, you're going to be not just a great, but a phenomenal team. I love San Antonio. Where did the mock draft go? Okay, so got two more. Again, them getting a point guard doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So again, if this mock draft goes accordingly and it falls into this order and they nobody trades or anything, I can picture if it gets to the point of this Corey Kispert or the Orlando ones, like Scotty Barnes or Jonathan Kuminga, they were to fall down that far, I wouldn't be surprised if San Antonio traded away that pick and try to get one of those two. Because again, coming from an Indiana Pacers fan, that we at one point had Kawhi Leonard as a draft pick, and San Antonio hey, you can have an IUPUI kid and George Hill if you give us Kawhi Leonard. And then you went out to get a championship. Meanwhile, George Hill's been on 6 teams since. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. But Jalen Johnson, I wouldn't be surprised if they were to go out for them to go out and do that. I wouldn't be surprised if San Antonio did that. But Jalen Johnson, I think they would like that. Memphis. That would give them Ja Morant, Dylan Brooks, Jalen Johnson, Jaren Jackson Jr. when he gets back and healthy. I love that. And then Jonas Valanciunas. That'd be a great group. They also have Kyle Anderson. Memphis, I like that move a lot for you guys. That'd be huge. And then Charlotte, again, them getting this Usman Garuba. that'd be not a bad pickup because they are in desperate need of a stretch 4 or 5 or just a 4 or 5 that can go out there and get some rebounds for them because they got a amazing backcourt in LaMelo Ball, Devontae Graham, uh, Terry Rozier, and then you got Gordon Hayward. They can keep the group as he's an established veteran. That would be great for them. They got Miles Bridges at the 4. That's not a bad pickup. I like that move for the Charlotte Hornets. So that is the top 15, the lottery picks that are going to be happening in the very near future after the NBA playoffs are done. They'll have this draft go down, and around the time the playoffs start, I'm gonna go ahead and do my own mock draft and see what I think is going to happen. And down the road, we'll go and see how I did, and then we'll also try to go ahead and get Mike and Zach to join in with some more ZKM Sports Talk. It's going to be great, guys. I am so glad to be back. Again, I just needed some time for myself to relax and think things over, and I'm glad to be back. And I will talk to you guys here very soon with a, not quick, but a very good